January is Move Over Month in Florida. The Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles is partnering with the Department of Transportation and other agencies to recognize the Move Over Law for the first month of the year. That law requires drivers to move over at least one lane when passing a first responder stopped on the side of the road.
And Tanner Stewart joins us now with details on this awareness campaign.
Good evening. Just last year, the state of Florida expanded the move over law to include all non-emergency vehicles on the side of the road. And today, a Escambia County EMS chief tells me that this is important for those non-emergency vehicles, just as it is for first responders, and for many reasons.
Move over. These are two simple words that can mean the difference between life and death to all first responders who work along Florida's highways.
The statewide campaign is looking to crack down on distracted drivers and enforce protections for roadside vehicles. Move Over Florida is a campaign started by the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles to remind Floridians about the dangers of breaking the Move Over law. The department says there were 170 crashes across Florida in 2024 caused by drivers failing to obey the law. Those resulted in 1 death and 10 serious injuries. According to the agency, more than 15,000 drivers were cited for violating the law last year.
It increases the risk and the potential for injury and death for our providers.
Escambia County EMS Chief Chris Watts says it's dangerous as it is for first responders on the roadways. Worrying about distracted drivers adds more stress to an already high-stress situation.
A lot of your energy goes into caring for that individual. When you're distracted from caring for that individual because you have to constantly look over your shoulder to see where traffic is and you hear a car approaching that sounds much closer, or you're worried that those cars might actually collide with you or your vehicle or the vehicle that you're dealing with, it puts a higher level of stress on individuals. And for our line of work, that's a high point for fatality for the fire service and EMS. It's police, fire, EMS, your tow truck.
Oh, it's serious.
Charles Medley owns M&S Towing in Pensacola. The wrecking service operates around the clock all year long, often taking calls in those high-stress situations by the roadside. Medley described a recent incident on Interstate 10 that nearly turned tragic.
I'm on the curb, I'm loading, and I'm having to stand on the driver's side because I'm against the guardrail on the other side, and car just whizzes right past me, flying. I'm probably doing 60, 70 on the curb. It's very often. I mean, almost every call I go on, it's by the highway. I mean, nobody really slows down and move over anymore. So and the cell phones, people on their cell phones. I mean, that plays a big factor.
Chief Watts says it's important for services like M&S Towing to be included in the law, as companies like this are often one of the first to respond.
They're part of the first responder team, right? Because without those additional resources, we couldn't get roadways clear. We couldn't, stabilize vehicles. We couldn't, help certain people.
The State Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles says statistically the move over law is violated the most by those from ages 20 to 40. If you're caught breaking that move over law, you can face fines, citations, even points on your driving record. Reporting live tonight in Pensacola, I'm Tanner Stewart.